On the season so far, McNamara is 38 of 71. That's 54% completion for 417 yards. If you can do the math, that's 139 yards per game passing. 4 touchdowns with 3 interceptions. He has declined drastically in every statistical category in existence every year since his 2021 breakout season with Michigan. Considering the fact that he's really only throwing the ball to tight ends at Iowa, I'm not expecting the numbers to get better either. In fact, once Iowa starts playing real Big Ten defenses, I think the struggles of this offense are going to be put fully on display. Night game in a whiteout against a hyper-aggressive Manny Diaz Penn State defense that created 5 turnovers last week against Illinois. What does any rational football fan expect to happen? Iowa has shown that they can only have success running the football, while Penn State is giving up only 97 yards rushing per game. Considering the run defense, along with the best defensive backfield in the nation, and the fact that Manny Diaz has Penn State third in the country in turnover margin right now, that gives you a large chunk of the story right there. Iowa is not going to score points very easily in this game. They're just not. No matter which way you look at it, it does not bode well for Cade McNamara. You can't look at that and say, oh yeah, they're just going to run the ball up the gut 100 times. Their tight ends are going to be wide open the whole game. This isn't fairyland. This is Penn State football. We play defense up here in Happy Valley. It's not going to be easy for Iowa to score. And then you have to look at the other side of the ball. Drew Allar and the Penn State passing game looked a little inconsistent on the road last week. And I think some people are going to chalk that up to just being nerves or being uncomfortable in his first road start. I know Joel Klatt talked about that on the broadcast, how I think he was talking about how he was at Purdue or something. His first road start ever. He just said it was a completely different feel. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, being one excuse. But Allar has played on the road before. It's not like he's never played a game outside of Beaver Stadium. I think, in my mind, that the main reason for the struggles offensively against Illinois can be summed up by 2 words: Jerzon Newton. He showed why he's one of the best defenders in the country. And after that performance, he has to be in the conversation for the number 1 spot. I mean, Iowa's got some dogs on defense, but they have nobody that can take over games like Jerzon Newton. And considering Allar and co. is staying at home on the whiteout, I think the offense will be able to improve from last week and show more of what they did earlier against West Virginia and Delaware. Listen to this stat. I think they talked about it several times in the broadcast last week on Fox against Illinois, but I have to bring it up here as well because it's one of the more telling stats for the Penn State team right now. Penn State has scored 30 or more points in 10 straight games, dating back to last year's whiteout against Minnesota. Penn State has scored 30 or more points in 10 straight games. That's the longest streak in the country. And the last time we didn't score 30 points in a game was in the Big House last year when we only put up 17. So if you look at Iowa, they only scored 30 points once the entirety of last season. Iowa only scored 30-plus points once last year. And that was against Northwestern when they put up 33. We've scored 30 points in 10 straight games. If that doesn't portray the difference in quality of offense, I don't know what does. It's so clear. And I'll say this. Earlier, I was downplaying Iowa's performance against Western Michigan because almost all of their production was in the run game. But 41 points is 41 points if you're Iowa. The last time Iowa scored at least 41 points was Week 5 of 2021, when they scored 51 points against Maryland. And the last time they scored more than 30 points against a ranked opponent was in the Holiday Bowl in 2019, when they scored 49 points against USC. So 41 points is a really good offensive performance if you're Iowa last week. And with that 41-point performance included, Iowa has scored 28.3 points per game this season, which is still 74th in college football. I'll remind you again, Penn State hasn't scored less than 30 points in a year, and this year's offense is on a different level than what we had with Sean Clifford. So a lot of Penn State fans remember what happened against Iowa in 2021. and we want some sweet revenge. Well, I want revenge too, baby. Hear my prediction. Penn State 38-9 Iowa. Big win for the Nittany Lions. We're going to learn a lot about the Penn State offense in this game and whether or not this team is ready to compete with the Michigans and Ohio States of the world. And I'm predicting it to be awesome against Iowa.